Hi guys, welcome back to my channel once again here on YouTube. Today we continue on with WWF The Year in DVD Review. So now we have part 4, which is Backlash 2001. After that fucking awesome pay-per-view we just had, WrestleMania 17, we move on to Backlash. And this was a great follow-up pay-per-view. I really did enjoy this one. We'll go into it, all the matches and everything else in a minute. Let's take a look at the cover, as we usually do. Beautiful logo on it. I absolutely love that with the hooks underneath. Very smart. And I like the way they've got Triple H on the cover, and then there's like a sketch of him at the top with his infamous sledgehammer there. It's good how the artist put that together. It's really smart. Sorry guys. And there's the Silver Vision logo there as well. It's a 15 certificate here in the UK. There's the disc. Got like a insert as well with this, which is pretty cool. Menu selection, playback, lash list, extras. There's the match list and extras. I'm gonna put that back in there and leave that on the screen for you in a sec, guys. Important notice for DVDs. That's pretty cool that that's still in there after 22 years. Some adverts in the back I'll quickly show you. So we got the Mick Foley Hard Knocks and Cheap Pops, WrestleMania 16 or WrestleMania 2000, King of the Ring 2000, Survivor Series 2000 in the middle there, just about make it out, SummerSlam 2000, The Rock, the People's Champ, and Royal Rumble 2000. Just going to pop the disc back in. Don't want it damaged. Pop these two back in as well, and then I'll show you the back. I'll keep the back on the screen for you guys because it's got the match list on there anyway. But yeah, we've got some awesome screenshots in the back there as well. We've got Big Show, got Undertaker chokeslam in Austin. We've got Benoit putting an ankle lock on Kurt Angle, I think that is anyway. Yeah, it is Kurt Angle. I meant, is that the move he's doing to him? And we have Jericho putting the, is it the Lion Tamer, that move? I always get that confused with another move. But yeah, I think that's what he's put on William Regal there. Got Raven there as well on the bottom. Very cool. Yes, so guys, let's go over some stats and then I'll go over the matches. So, this was from April 29th, 2001, so just dead on 4 weeks after WrestleMania. It's from Rosemont, Illinois, the All-State Arena. We had an attendance of 15,592 that evening and a buy rate of 375,000. Before I move on, I'm going to mention this as well in case I forget to mention it later. Insurrection was next, which was a UK pay-per-view. And I don't actually have that one in my collection, but there are matches on there that are between certain superstars on here, and then it kind of bridges in between this and Judgment Day. But what I'll do is when I do eventually get around to getting that DVD, I've been creating playlists in my on my channel. You'll probably see them somewhere in the, I don't know, what do they call it, profile channel, whatever. You'll see the playlist somewhere on the channel here. I don't know how to explain it. I've been putting them together, and yeah, I've been putting the 2001 together, and Insurrection will be added to that eventually, but not at the moment. I'm leaving the two UK ones out for now. I'm just doing all the US ones anyway. But I don't think there's a lot of important things at that Insurrection pay-per-view to cover. But I did look at the results for that after I watched this, and there are one or two things I would like to watch and then talk about when the time comes, but there's nothing of importance at the moment that I can think of. But anyway, let's get to this then. So yeah, we've done the buy rate and everything else. So matches, we kicked things off with a hardcore match. So we had Rhino putting his hardcore championship on the line against Raven. Obviously, hardcore rules and everything else. This was pretty cool. They didn't let the two wrestlers leave the main ring area. Obviously, they went out and had a brawl outside the ring and everything, but they didn't really go out the back stage area or anything. They just stayed around the ring. I think WWF management were a bit concerned about letting Raven anywhere near the backstage area, just in case he has another accident and may almost knock any cables out of place like he nearly did at the WrestleMania during the WrestleMania match against Big Show and Kane. But yeah, obviously somewhere between WrestleMania and Backlash, I didn't research it much because I just went straight to watching the next pay-per-view. Kane lost the Hardcore Championship and somehow it's ended up in Rhino's possession here, but not to worry. But yeah, this was okay. I mean, they threw literally everything at each other, shopping trolleys or shopping carts, as you would call them in the US, guys. Even the fucking kitchen sink as well. Literally, the kitchen sink was involved in this. Road signs, the usual stuff. Yeah, pretty cool. I always like hardcore matches. I know I keep on saying that, guys, but I do miss them. Great way to open things up, and I did enjoy that. Very good stuff. Yeah, I do give that high praise, that match. Sorry about that, guys. I thought someone was knocking on my door then. Yeah, I had to do a jump cut. Apologies for that. So back to this. So yeah, I've also realised I've missed a match out as well. And I've put this on second on the list. I don't know why. So we had the Dudley Boyz, so Bubba Ray, Devon and Spike. They took on the X Factor, which was X-Pac, Just Incredible and Albert. It's one of those kind of what I'd call filler matches again, which you could have seen on Sunday Night Heat or Raw or SmackDown. We've talked about this many a times before. It was okay for what it was, but it's, didn't really need to be on pay-per-view. It served no purpose. I didn't think it did anyway, just my opinion. Apart from maybe showing off the Dudley Boyz a bit, but X Factor were not really anything big, were they? Unfortunately, they had some good members amongst the stable, but the fans never really took to them well. We had William Regal take on Chris Jericho in a Duchess of Queensberry rules match. Now, this one would have been a lot better if we didn't have these stupid Duchess of Queensberry rules. Now, the Duchess of Queensberry also came out and sat at ringside, and we had a similar problem. I don't know if you've seen I think it was WCW New Blood Rising 2000 pay-per-view DVD review I did a few months back. And there was Lance Storm against, I think it might have been Mike Awesome, and Jacques Rougeau was the what would we call him? Enforcer maybe, and kept changing all the fucking rules every time. Like Mike Awesome would get a pinfall. I think it was Mike Awesome anyway. Then the bell would ring, and then they quickly change it. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. You need to have a 5 count and all this other crap. It reminded me of that. So back to this Regal Jericho match anyway, guys, because I'm going to go off topic. Sorry about that. Yeah, this Duchess, she kept changing all the rules. So Jericho would make Regal... No, he would pin Regal, I think, and then... No, it has to be won by submission. And then he'd make him tap out. Oh, no. Only Regal can win it by submission. And, it was just random things like that. It wasn't exactly those rules, but I'm just giving, some... off the top of my head, what some of the shit that she was saying. And then the announcer, Howard Finkel, I think it was, he kept saying, we have to restart the match or whatever. And according to Queensberry rules, that doesn't count, so therefore the match must continue. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. These two could have just had a decent match without all this stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. A similar thing happened when he wasn't given enough allocated time in the WrestleMania match they had together. So it's a shame These two could have had a really good feud together, and that's two matches that I just wasn't overly keen on. And in the end, Regal ended up winning because of all the stupid rules that were against Jericho. Jericho basically had him beat many a times in the match. Such a shame. And yeah, that's basically how it went. For what it was, some of you might like it. I didn't, because I was annoyed with that. But, you know, it is what it is. And yeah, I'm just going to move on from that one because it was kind of annoying. And it was a shame, really, looking back on it now. For some reason, I did honestly think it was better than what I remembered, but obviously not. No. Going back to revisit it, it wasn't. Let's move on, Bunny. Let's move on. So, we had Kurt Angle against Chris Benoit in a 30-minute Ultimate Submission match. This really cheered me up, revisiting this one. So, when I was on a bit of a downer on that last bullshit match, my spirits were raised with this one, and I was happy with this because two of the arguably of the best wrestlers to ever step in the squared circle went at it in an Ultimate Submission match for 30 minutes. 30 minutes, I think, is a fair time limit as well. 60 minutes for like an Iron Man match or an Ultimate Submission match or whatever. That's too long for me to sit through for just one match, I find. I don't know if any of you guys find that and feel that way as well. Let me know in the comments below if you feel that way. But that's just me. But 30 minutes did feel like a fair amount of time. And to have got 3 falls apiece. Do we call it 3 falls apiece? Or 3 submissions each? 3 submissions each, we'll say. While the limit of the timer went to reached zero, sorry, and it had to go into sudden death overtime until there was a winner. And I thought to have 6 submissions in the space of 30 minutes felt too much, too many for that allocated time. And maybe they should have just kept it about 2-2 or 1-1, make it more fair. Have the first one in the first 10 minutes, then the second one, just before the end to force the overtime. That's just me with nitpicks. Sorry about that, guys. But that doesn't mean the match was bad. It was absolutely awesome, as you would expect from those two wrestlers. And it was Benoit was forced to submit at 7 minutes and 6 seconds to make it 1-0 to Angle. So Angle got the first point. The second point went to Benoit, to make it 1-1 at 8 minutes and 5 seconds. The third point went to Benoit. Angle to make it 2-1. Then it went to 3-1 in Angle's favour. Then it went to 3-2, Benoit getting a point back. And then again, in the 27th minute, almost 28th minute, Benoit managed to get the third point to force the overtime. And the overtime, interestingly, only lasted 1 minute and 33 seconds anyway, so that just seemed a bit pointless. And it was won by Chris Benoit. But yeah, overall, it was a fun match, and I highly recommend checking that one out, guys. It was really cool. Definitely enjoyed that. And they went on to have a match at Insurrection, as I was mentioning earlier about Insurrection, but unfortunately I can't cover that one, and that's a 2 out of 3 falls match. And I think they've got a 2 out of 3. They had a 2 out of 3 falls match on this Judgment Day, which I'll be reviewing next as well, which is a bit bizarre. But we'll cover all that when we get to it. Moving on anyway, guys, sorry. We had a triple threat match. No, we didn't. Bunny, you're jumping ahead again. We had Big Show versus Shane McMahon in a last man standing match. And I just rolled my eyes at this one. I thought this is going to be, very one-sided, because I can't really remember it much off the top of my head. But when I did watch it back and then watch the build-up package towards the match and how they've done it and then we had like Shane McMahon with a Jack and the Beanstalk fairy tale book in his hand, reading the story and crossing out the name Jack and writing Shane and saying Shane and the Beanstalk, and how he's gonna take down the giant, and and all this other shit, and you know, which way did he go? Which way did he go? All that crap. You remember that, guys? But yeah, I thought Big Show was actually absolutely going to annihilate Shane McMahon, and that wasn't to be. We had Shane use a chair to start off with, countless amounts of chair shots to Big Show. Got to try and say this word right now. Chlorophyll. I can't pronounce that word. The stuff you use to put someone to sleep. He put a load of that on a rag and then tried to put the Big Show to sleep. That was kind of dumb. But yeah, that happened, and Test interfered on Shane's behalf and ended up going down near the structure with the Backlash hooks all swinging around and stuff. And we had Big Show lying down on like this, I would have described it as like a crash mat, I guess. And Shane McMahon climbing up a scaffold, Test keeping Big Show down in place. And then, from what I remember, Shane McMahon takes like a 40-foot dive onto the crash mat and Big Show for the win. And obviously, Test was there picking him up and putting him on this like, what do they call him? Like this beam thing to keep him held up so that he's the last man standing, basically. And it's watchable, it's entertaining and everything else, but it's just looking back on that one now for me, I didn't really get any enjoyment out of it. Not really. It was a shame. And Big Show kind of went on a bit of a losing streak because he lost hair. Sorry, guys, he lost hair, and then he lost a Insurrection as well against Bradshaw. Moving on, anyway, because that was just absolutely stupid, I thought. Just my opinion. So we had Christian, Eddie Guerrero, and Matt Hardy in a triple threat match for Matt Hardy's WWF European Championship. This was fun. I didn't mind this one at all. Very fast paced, and kept me glued to the screen. This one, lots of interesting moves from all three. One in particular that stood out for me is Eddie Guerrero going to do a Hurricane Rana on Matt Hardy from the top turnbuckle, and as he does it, Christian holds down Matt Hardy, and Eddie's already executed it and then ends up injuring himself while Matt Hardy's still stuck to the top of the turnbuckle, if you see what I mean, guys. Yeah, it's just those kind of moves that impress me. But yeah, that was a good one. I didn't mind that one. Then we had the main event, which is a tag team match for the WWF Tag Team Championship, the WWF Intercontinental Championship, and the WWF Championship. So we had the Brothers of Destruction, who were the tag team champions. That's Kane and The Undertaker. They took on WWF champion Stone Cold Steve Austin and his tag partner, Intercontinental champion Triple H, the two-man power trip. So this, I didn't mind it. It was okay. It started off very slow, but then started to pick up a bit of momentum towards the end. I think my main problem I had with it back then, and what I had about it this time watching it back, was the fact that Stone Cold Steve Austin was booked as a complete pussy. Honestly, he was just begging Undertaker and Kane not to hurt him, and I know he had to play a role of a heel, but it just didn't suit him after seeing him as that badass all those years, only for him to be like, oh, please don't hit me, please, like begging, and I thought, no, this isn't Steve Austin. This isn't the Stone Cold I remember. But even back then, I can kind of remember having that same thought towards it. They did make a good tag team, though, him and Triple H, Austin and Triple H. I thought they did well together. So don't get me wrong with that. They did work well together. I did like Austin's red knee braces as well, his knee support things. They were pretty smart. And yeah, the match itself, we had a bit of a screwy finish. We had Vince McMahon coming out to oh, and Stephanie as well. I'm just trying to remember back. So Stephanie comes out, and then Kane Kane flattens her with a big boot, which I found quite hilarious. Just laughing out loud with that one at the screen when that happened. I know I'm quite an evil bunny, aren't I? But no, that was pretty funny, I thought. Yeah, she is kind of hot, guys, I know, but to see her get flattened out by a 7 foot monster, a big boot to the face, bam, take it, stay down, don't interfere in the match. Yeah, and Vince McMahon comes and helps as well, and obviously Triple H with his sledgehammer, and yeah, I don't know what happened with Austin and Taker. They were busy scrapping in the crowd, I think, or somewhere out the ring. I lost track of them too because there's just so many things going on in this match. And then Kane obviously had his broken arm at this time. I think he got struck in the arm and then struck in the head straight after with the sledgehammer for Triple H to pick up the victory. And then we crowned new WWF Tag Team Champions to end Backlash. And yeah, as I said, they do work well together. They did work well together, the two-man power trip. Good tag team. Not a team that you would have ever expect. I wouldn't have ever have expected them to have gotten together if, I was in the year 2000 and someone said, oh, in 2001, did you know this is going to happen? I'd be like, nah, you're pulling my leg. But no, yeah, it is what it is. They were a team, and yeah, they've done well. Obviously, they won the tag team championship together off the Brothers of Destruction. And I also want to praise Kane again because so this would be the fourth pay-per-view, and he was runner-up in the Royal Rumble. He won the Hardcore Championship at WrestleMania, and he was a tag team champion going into this. What a great year he's had so far in 2001, what we've reviewed, guys. He's one of those standout wrestlers for this year, I think, if I'm personally honest with you. Just my opinion, though, guys. But yeah, this was Backlash 2001 review, guys. I hope this was good. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the pay-per-view itself if you've seen it. If you've not seen it, worth checking out, I guess. I'm going to give it a score of 7 out of 10. There's a few matches I wasn't overly keen on. The main event itself, it was entertaining, but they could have had a world title match or something else instead of it just being like a tag team championship match. Nothing against the tag titles. I just felt it was something that could have been saved for Raw or SmackDown maybe. Even though they're the big names, it just didn't seem like a main event. But yes, 7 out of 10 for that one. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up if I deserve one already. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And we will be moving on to Judgment Day review next, which I look forward to. And I'll quickly mention something else for you to you guys. I've noticed, looking back over the 2 years I've been doing this channel, that I've already covered King of the Ring 2001, not as a review, but as like maybe it was like a thoughts video I did. I can't really remember now. It wasn't that long. It was like 3 or 4 minutes long looking back at when I went through the list of my videos. And I've also done Unforgiven 2001. But what I'm going to do is I'll keep them up for now, but I'm going to remake both of those and then take the old ones down possibly in the future. Or I might keep them up, I don't know yet. But yeah, guys, this list's slowly coming together. I'm very, very excited for what happens from Judgment Day onwards, because things start to get very interesting, especially with the invasion angle and everything else to look forward to. Such an awesome year, this one. And I'm glad I've had a chance to cover it with you guys. You all stay safe, and I want to give a quick shout out to my good friend Barry. Get well soon, dude. I heard you've been enjoying my 2001 videos. One of your favorite years as well. I remember looking at your collection, and you've got some good DVDs in your collection, dude. I'm very impressed with what you've got, and I hope you get well soon, brother. All of you as well, stay safe, and I'll catch you again for the next episode. Goodbye for now.